The games have been shot, the highlights culled. It's time for Friday Night Football. We start in the Eastern Valley with a pair of 1-0 teams, Waupaca at Freedom. We are scoreless in the second. Freedom punting, fielded by Brando Vasquez, but check out the hit by Mason Sturm of Freedom. Mason, that is awesome. On the ensuing drive, it's Nate squared. Nate Jensen to Nate Nelson for 14 yards and the first score of the game, 7-0 Waupaca. Later in the first half, Waupaca recovered a fumble and the Comets cash in. Jensen to Bryce Needard for a 12-yard touchdown. Waupaca goes on to win it 27-18. To Kimberly and the VFA, the second-rate Papermakers hosting Fondy. Kimberly off to a good start with a 6-yard touchdown run by J.P. Peerenboom. Papermakers up 7-0. That lead extended by, check this out, this is going to be a 75-yard touchdown scramble by quarterback Scott Schreiber. The Papermakers lead Fondy 14-0. Kimberly not letting up at all. 30-yard touchdown pass from Schreiber to Weston Guilfoyle, putting the Papermakers up 28-0 in the second quarter. Kimberly goes on to win it 55-14. Ouch. Elsewhere in the VFA, it's Oshkosh West traveling to Appleton North. A back-and-forth game with many turnovers, including this pass that is deflected off of Ricky Blum's helmet and into the hands of Alex Mack. Appleton North's defense also not making it easy for West with this huge hit by Connor Rolane on Michael Yang. That hit taken in vain, though, as a Lightning score. A 4-yard touchdown run by Ethan Dans in the middle of the fourth quarter. Appleton North going on to win it 27-16, your final. To the Bay Conference, where LC's on a collision course with Seymour. The Thunder set some kind of new intercollegiate record in the closing seconds of the first half. Dakota Oski on the scramble. He cuts to his left, breaks a tackle, and he's going to end the half with a touchdown. But there's a holding penalty, and they bring it back. Seymour gets another play, and this time Oski launches it for all he's worth and finds Casey Jeffson in the end zone for another touchdown. But there's another penalty, and back it comes. The Thunder overcome the adversity and win 20-0. Next stop, Green Bay Southwest for the Trojans. FRCC collision with Sheboygan North. Southwest pulling away in this one, but Chad Lehman pays the price when he's sacked by Daniel Wild. Apparently just a flesh wound, because Lehman returns to the fray, and later in the third, he hands off to Jake Gorzik. He scores to make it, get this, 33-6 Trojans. Later in the second half, Norse Jacob Smith tries to rally his troops, but he is picked off by Dion Denny. The Trojans score on their next series and rough up the Raiders to the tune of 53-20. Down 41 and across the bridge, we're at the pier where the Redbirds are squaring off against Notre Dame. First quarter, the Trojans, Charlie Rotherham, hands off to Isaac Searing. He turns the corner for the score, but a flag on the play negates the TD and leads to a punt. Later in the first, the Redbirds, Emmett Kulik, is looking for Sam Jansen, but he is picked off by Zach Devroy. A defensive battle all night long, and Notre Dame squeaks by 7-0. More action from the FRCC now as Ashwaubenon takes on Manti. We pick this one up in the third. Jags up 20-10. Ships Ethan just scampers in for the score, bringing Manti within 3 if my math is correct. Later in the third, Ashwaubenon's James Morgan tries to connect with James Ibbig, but he can't hold on, and it's picked off by Hunter Saubert. He returns it for the score, ships up 4. To the fourth, Jags, Jake Zills takes the ball behind a horde of blockers. Nice run, Jake. For the touchdown, Ashwaubenon holds on for the 27-24 victory. And finally, in the My New 32 game of the week, it's Preble and the Pulaski Red Raiders. Hornet fans tired from cheering. First punt of the game. Will Daniels, yeah, he's also Preble's quarterback, but he ain't bad at his part-time job either. He picks his way through the Raiders on the punt return, and he's going 75 yards for the score, 6-0 Preble. Later in the first half, it was 13-zip, and it's Daniels again. Check him out, buying time, rolling left, and he finds a wide-open Brandon Collins for the touchdown. This contest, no contest, Preble wins it 38-7.